Hello, everyone, and welcome to a great episode here of the Gridiron Glory with Will and Tad, two guys covering all 32 teams, all things football, all things regular season, and today, all things Pittsburgh Steelers, New York Jets, week one. With the Steelers coming out with a much more high scoring than expected victory, 34 to 32 on the road against the Jets. So, a big win there, big way to start off the time in Pittsburgh for Aaron Rodgers making his debut going up against his former team, 22 of 30, 244, four touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked four times. So a bit of a struggle for the O line in some aspects, but Aaron Rodgers comes out, makes all the plays you got to make. He gets the two touchdowns in the fourth quarter when you need it. He gets the team into field goal range. Um, and for their kicker, Chris Boswell, one of the best kickers in the league, field goal range can be pretty much anywhere past midfield. So you love to see that. He makes the 60-yard field goal. And I mean, just
The
you
Steph
love to
Curry of
see
the
that.
NFL, if you will.
Yeah, and the Steph Curry of the NFL, some would say. You love to see it. And then on defense, I mean, you get the big stop by Jalen Ramsey. His coverage, that's how you build a legacy. What is a legacy? It's planting seeds in a garden you never get to see. So you just love to see that from Jalen Ramsey. And the Steelers, I mean, what a way to kick off the season with a 34-32 in one of the more high scoring games of the week. I mean, just an exciting game of football, wouldn't you say?
Oh, incredibly exciting game of football, but sad. Let's not talk about the best. Let's not forget to talk about the best moment of the game when, it was that fourth down. Justin Fields, he gets the receiver right there in open space, and then just uh, man, Jalen Ramsey just delivers an absolute hit to seal the deal, get that victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tad, when you saw that moment, what was going through your mind, and where would you rank Jalen Ramsey amongst NFL players overall?
I mean, just after seeing a play like that, I mean, it makes me think when I see that Jalen Ramsey definitely a leader for this Pittsburgh defense. He's coming out making the plays that need to be made. His coverage was exceptional. And I mean, this is a game where, like I said, 66 total points on the scoreboard between the two teams. So not a lot of high points for the defenses on either side, to be completely fair. This was an offensive game, but Jalen Ramsey, when you gotta have the defensive play, he was there, he made the play. You have to rank him fairly highly.
Well, this is exactly why you went in and you went out and you made the trade that you made to bring Jalen Ramsey in for a big moment like that. So shout out to Jalen Ramsey, in my opinion. This was a football game with lots of plays that happened all around, but that was, in my opinion, my favorite play right there.
Yeah, and shout out to the Pittsburgh Steelers and their franchise for being willing to make that move. That's not an easy trade to make. I mean, Minka Fitzpatrick, a very well-respected guy in this locker room in the city of Pittsburgh, and they do what they feel they need to do to better their football team. And it's one game, but positive impact so far there. So you do love to see that. Looking at some more of the statistics for the Pittsburgh offense, I was very intrigued by what we saw in the backfield. Jalen Warren, 11 carries, 37 yards. Kenneth Gainwell, 7 carries for 19 yards. And Caleb Johnson only had 1 carry for -2 yards. Just a very interesting distribution there. I'd love to see Caleb Johnson get the ball a bit more, but it seems like for now they're going with a 1-2 of Warren and Gainwell, the two veterans.
Yeah, and Caleb Johnson in his rookie season, he's gonna learn from these guys. I know for a fact that at some point throughout the season, Caleb Johnson will get his touches. He'll get his big plays. So, in the meantime, just learn from the veterans in the running back room for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's going to be a big, interesting next man up type mentality. You love to see the game that Calvin Austin the third had in the receiving room. 4 catches for 70 yards, a big touchdown in the fourth quarter. Just a player that's been trying to establish his career. He's not had the most of opportunities early in his career here, now going into his fourth year, the fourth round pick out of Memphis. And now this is probably the most pass heavy offense he's played for here in his career. So you love to see him making the most out of that opportunity.
Yeah, I've always been a big believer in Calvin Austin, and I believe that him and Aaron Rodgers, certainly are going to get off to some really good chemistry. Though I am very surprised that PFF only had him ranked at 66.4 with his grade. I certainly was a lot higher on him in this game than PFF had him personally.
Yeah, I mean he made some plays there, so you love to see that. DK Metcalf also a solid game in his Pittsburgh debut. 4 catches for 83 yards, long of 31. So you love to see that. And I'm sure as he gets going, he'll only acclimate himself even more with Rodgers and the offense. So just felt like a really great start for the Pittsburgh offense.
Uh, Yeah, I mean, listen, Mike Tomlin is an incredible head coach, and with a guy like Aaron Rodgers, you know that Aaron Rodgers is there on the sideline with this offensive coordinator, with Mike Tomlin, coming up with schematics, coming up with good plays, coming up with good routes for these receivers to run. So Aaron Rodgers is not only a quarterback on the field; he's also like one of the coaches, and he's also a part of the coaching staff.
For sure with his veteran high football IQ, stuff like that, you can definitely count on him to do that. Looking at the Pittsburgh offensive line, a very interesting day for them. I thought it was a solid day of blocking out of guys like Zach Frazier, the center, Samulo, the guard. Um, what was your take on the performance by Broderick Jones?
Yeah, Broderick Jones had the left tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers graded out 46.8 pass blocking grade. They are putting 3 sacks on him as well. And yeah, you also allowed a hit on the quarterback. Shout out to Zach Frazier and Connor Hayward and Isaac Samalu. They definitely stepped up, played well. Samalu had to pick up a lot of the slack for what Broderick Jones was missing. But yeah, Broderick Jones, the left tackle, the leader of the offensive line, got to step up there. Can't allow. I mean, as the left tackle of Mr. Aaron Rodgers, like you're Aaron Rodgers' left tackle.
Mhm.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, that just has to be better. I mean, because if you're letting up that many sacks to Aaron Rodgers, I mean, we know his injury history. We know he's not the youngest, not the fleetest of foot anymore. So if this thing is going to work in Pittsburgh, you got to keep Aaron Rodgers upright as long as you can. Behind him, you have guys like Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson, Will Howard, and 2 of those are on IR anyways. So just you got to keep your guy healthy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, you gotta go out there. If I'm Broderick Jones, I'm getting in the weight room this week and just telling myself that I can't let that keep happening if I'm Broderick Jones.
Yeah, definitely there. Looking at the defense for Pittsburgh, we already gave a lot of good hype to Jalen Ramsey, well deserved. He had 3 tackles, 2 pass defended, um, 1 quarterback hit, and of course the legacy coverage at the end of the game. So you'd love to see that out of Jalen Ramsey, a premier player. TJ Watt, what can you say about TJ Watt? One of the best defensive players in the entire NFL. 5 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a pass defended. Just incredible at what he does. A great run defender, great at playing the game of football. This is a premier player on the defensive line.
TJ Watt, Yeah, I would rank TJ Watt easily a top five defensive player in the league. Um, as far as like best defensive lineman in the league, I mean, it's kind of like Jamar and Justin. I mean, it comes to
Mhm.
down to best defensive lineman in the league, him and Miles Garrett.
Definitely would have to agree with that for sure. Alex Highsmith also a solid game, 8 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. I thought he played a fairly strong game. PFF had him at 60, so perhaps I'm a little higher on him, though they did like his pass rush, 89.3 there.
Yeah. So that's really good to see. That's tremendous to see there. Really great performance from him.
Yeah, certainly a strong showing there. And of course, you can't forget to mention the impact of Chris Boswell. We touched at it in the beginning. 2 for 2, long of 60, 4 for 4 on his PATs. So I would have to ask you sincerely, where would you rank Chris Boswell among NFL kickers?
Currently, statistically, on the current season, given everything that he was able to produce in this game, I'd probably have to rank him the best kicker in the league right now.
A very strong take. You do love to see that. So Pittsburgh, I mean, they've had some strong special teams, and you do love to see that. So now looking at the New York Jets, it was the start of the Justin Fields experience in New York, and it was honestly a really solid start. I thought Justin Fields played an exceptional football game, 16 out of 22 passing, 218 yards, 1 touchdown, also 12 carries for 48 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground. So I definitely did not expect this high level of football from Justin Fields, and he came out and put his team in a very strong position to win. Obviously, it did not happen that way, but I thought he played a very strong game of football on that field.
He certainly did, Ted. I mean, he did everything he absolutely could to put the Jets in a position to win. I mean, even up until the very last play, like Justin Fields did nothing wrong on that last play for the
No.
New York Jets on offense. It was, I mean, that spoke purely to the elite talent of Jalen Ramsey, and that wasn't even the receiver's fault either. That was
No.
again the pure talent of Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey just did his job and he executed it beautifully in that moment.
Yeah, I mean, it was a play that you would think was more of like a 50-50 play, and Jalen Ramsey made it a 100% play. I mean, just you love to see that out there. But for the Jets, I mean, Fields, I mean, just a very strong start to build off of. Brees Hall looked really good in this football game as well. 19 carries, 107 yards, 2 catches for 38 yards. He looked explosive. He looked like he was ready to get back to playing at a high level. So you love to see the bounce back from Brees Hall there.
Yeah, Brees Hall to me, arguably a top 10 running back in the league. And where would you rank him amongst running backs from the University of Iowa State?
I had Brees ranked 15th going into the year. I think I'll move him up after this performance. So I have not released my week 1 running back rankings, but
Specifically,
I
where would you rank him
did.
amongst?
I was getting there. I do have Brees Hall ranked 2 spots ahead of David Montgomery, the other running back from that university. So I would have to say he's number 1 there, um, amongst players in the running back room produced by that particular school that doesn't need mention.
Note Tad's shirt that he's wearing as he describes these players.
Yes, yes. Definitely interesting there. Braylon Allen had an interesting line there. 6 carries, 9 yards, and a touchdown. So I'll just let that one sit there for a little bit and we can go there. But yeah, the receiving room for the Jets, that was very high level Garrett Wilson, 7 catches for 95 yards and a touchdown. You like to see Garrett Wilson getting off to a good start. You know he's has all the potential in the world, and you just want to see a big year out of him. He's had some tough times and some very tough offensive systems. So if he could have a breakout year, that'd be great for him.
Uh, yeah, I'm personally a big fan of Garrett Wilson myself. Yeah, shout out to him. He had an 87.7 receiving grade from PFF.
Mhm.
Um, and I just think that yeah, he went out there. He made some incredible plays. The 7 catches for 95 yards and a touchdown. Uh, he went out there. He made life a lot easier for Justin Fields in this football game. I think Garrett Wilson is probably going to be the face of this receiving room for the Jets.
Oh, without question, yeah. And another thing that made life a lot easier than one might have expected for Justin Fields is the outstanding play of tackle Armand Membau in his NFL debut. Of course, the first round pick out of Missouri. He went out there and really gave the offense a chance to make the big plays. His run blocking was incredible, 90.3, pass blocking 78.6, overall 89. So they were very high on him at PFF. We were very high with what we saw from him on the field. You could tell that this is a foundational piece that the New York Jets are hoping to rebuild their offensive line with. I mean, it's been an ongoing process with the Jets offensive line for the past 4 years. They've had some gains, they've had some losses, and now they're looking to get it back together. And this player is a great start.
Oh yeah, I'm just really happy for the Jets that they're finally starting to get an offensive line together because we have been pretty hard on them. And the fact that an offensive lineman had their highest grade out on PFF, just, I mean,
Mhm.
you love to see it, Tad. You love to see it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Armand, number 7. Jets fans, yeah, next time you watch, look out for number 70, your right tackle.
Yeah, definitely a real player there. So yeah, the Jets offense, they did all they could. On the defense, I mean, they had a tough time, obviously. You never want to give up as many points as they did. And then you see your team, they give you the lead back in the fourth quarter, and then of course you let Aaron Rodgers drive the field. So this defense, there's a lot of places where they can improve. I will shout out to Quinnen Williams, I should say. He had a strong game. He had 5 pressures, 4 tackles, 5 stops in the tackling game. So you love to see Quinnen Williams. He's always producing at a high level.
Yeah, Quentin Williams, certainly one of the upper tier players in this league for sure.
Oh yeah. And of course you know what you're gonna get out of Sauce Gardner. I mean, he had the 2 big pass deflections in the game. PFF gave him a 90.3 and specifically built off of his 90.5 in coverage. So I mean, he did what he could, but just outside of those two, it was a really tough game for the Jets defense. What can they do to improve?
Um, Obviously, the fact that Aaron Rodgers, I mean, listen, Aaron Rodgers should not have had as much of a way as he did with the secondary, especially with a guy like Sauce Gardner in it. So if I'm Sauce Gardner, I'm, you know, leading these guys in practice this next week to clean that up.
Hmm.
And I feel like they got to get after the quarterback a lot better than what they did. I mean, yeah, well, actually, that's not true. I mean, Rodgers did get sacked 4 times, so honestly, Tad, I would say they probably have to work on their secondary coverage for sure.
Yeah, like I said, outside of Gardner, I mean, it wasn't good. I mean, the coverage was bad. The tackling, I mean, a bit of a struggle. you need to see more from the New York Jets. You definitely need to see more from that defense. Also, shout out to Will McDonald. He did have 2 sacks. I mean, that's a solid playmaker there.
Oh yeah, Will McDonald, an absolute beast, going in there, wrecking havoc in the backfield for sure. Um, I just think that Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the storyline, like the emotions of this game, like Rodgers going into this stadium. Obviously, the Jets. We know that what happened with the coaches and everything last year. And Rodgers said in the press conference in the post game, Tad, that he was just happy to beat everyone in the Jets organization, and that they thought he couldn't play football. He goes out here, puts up the 22 of 30, 244 yards, 4 touchdowns. What do you say to that? After the Jets wrote him off.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, he came out. He proved the doubters wrong in this football game, and I mean, great start to the season for him. Can he sustain it long term? We'll see. But just very strong start there. One last note on the Jets before I close it out. Xavier Gibson, a very tough game for him in the return game. We talked about that fumble at the start of the quarter, and unfortunately for him, after the game, he was released by the New York Jets. I mean, we all remember what he did in that first game with Aaron Rodgers starting for the Jets in the Monday Night Football game. He had that insane game-winning kickoff return, and or it was a punt return. I think it was an insane punt return to win the game, and now his time in the green has come to an end. So unfortunate there for him.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. One last ride maybe is what Aaron Rodgers might be trying to sort out here with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and obviously that's what the Steelers would hope for. So, you know, game by game, here we are at the Gridiron Glory. This is the road to the Super Bowl, and maybe this is the first paving stone for the
Yeah,
Steelers to get there.
definitely the first page there, and the Steelers, if they're looking at page 2, they'll be having their home opener against the Seattle Seahawks here in a very interesting matchup. We'll have Aaron Rodgers, Sam Darnold. That'll be a very interesting matchup there between those two. And for the New York Jets, it gets no easier. They continue their season opening 2-game homestand. And in comes the MVP walking into your stadium. Here comes Josh Allen. Have fun.
Yeah, yeah, gonna be very fun there, very fun there. Division rivalry, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers. That honestly should be a very exciting matchup.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how that one goes. The Jets secondary, they're gonna have to play at a lot higher level, so we'll see how it goes. Did you have any thoughts you wanted to give?
Um, just, I think it's just interesting to see Aaron Rodgers still coming out here and doing this thing. He's been playing football a long time, and Justin Fields. I'm glad that he seems to have found a home here with the Jets.
Yep, you definitely love to see that, especially if you're a fan of Aaron Rodgers. So thank you all for watching the Gridiron Glory. Please continue to like, subscribe, and follow for more content throughout the season.